Hey guys, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. So for today's pick a card, we've got something a little bit different. So today's pick a card is Where Will You Live? This is good for if you are looking to move and you're looking to live somewhere else in the future. This is going to let you in on like the location or kind of like where the situation or the circumstances that you will be living in the future. So this could be like 20 years from now, this could be 5 years from now. This is just kind of like almost like your next place of residence. So let's get into the reading. I'll show you the crystals. So for the first crystal, we have Moonstone. For the second crystal, we have Rose Quartz. For the third crystal, we have Yellow Apatite. And for the fourth crystal, we have Smokey Quartz. So yeah, take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to pick your crystals. Sometimes it helps to take a few deep breaths before picking your crystal. With that said, I'll let you pick right now, and then we'll get on with the reading. Okay, let's get on with the reading with group number 1, the Moonstone. Okay, group number 1, if you pick the Moonstone, let's get into your reading. So I have 2 different tarot decks, my career deck to like talk about finances for the move, and a crystal affirmations deck today. Okay, let's see. Use those 2. Let me get one more. That one. Make sure these are all in the shot. Guess I can like corner them like this. Okay, and then we'll draw the career one and the crystal wisdom one. Actually, should I draw those now? Let me draw those later. Okay, so I'm not reading reversals today, by the way. So let's see. Wow, this is good news for this group so far. Okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for you guys is, first of all, there's like this dream home that you have, and that's kind of like, this is kind of like a confirmation that this dream home is like one that you're gonna have. Like what we have here with the 10 of Cups upright, this is a home with like the typical, is it called the nuclear family? Yeah, well, you have the 2 kids playing in the yard, the husband and the wife, and there's a big rainbow above them, showing them that there's like going to be a lot of happiness in this home. There's a lot of blessings in this home that you're gonna move into. It's gonna be a lot of, it's wherever you're living, there's gonna be a lot of like really good feelings around that environment. We also have the Ace of Cups and the 9 of Cups. We have a lot of Cups energy right here, which is just showing a lot of emotional fulfillment. So this 9 of Cups is basically just showing that whatever wish you want for your home, it will be granted. That's kind of where you're gonna be living. So I feel like for people in this pile, you have like an idea already of what kind of home you wanna live in. And it's like this genie right here, he's ready to grant your wish, right? He has all these cups and he's like, just pick the cup you want and I will give it to you. So in the Ace of Cups right here just shows like loving, harmonious things. It almost looks here to like this home with the 2 imagery of the 2 dark birds and the 2 light birds, that there's this aspect of duality in the fact of your light and shadow selves kind of battling it out for like the perfect home, right? What we see here is that there's kind of like this idea that maybe like people nag you or are nagging you about what the right home is to purchase, and all these people are kind of like trying to tell you like, oh, you should go with this option or you should go with this option, right? What we see here with this woman is these birds are kind of like have her hair tied up in knots and she's blindfolded, kind of showing that like these other people kind of like don't see your vision, right? They don't know that you're like, they see you as like blindfolded, or that you don't know what you want, or that you're not looking for what you want. And then over here in the Ace of Cups with the two like white birds, we have them in like perfect symmetry around this peace sign and this cup. We just have like a really harmonious image of like, kind of like when you follow kind of like your true north, like that's when you're going to get kind of like the home that you want, right? What we see here with the moon card upright, this usually represents something along the lines of something not being noticed or seen. This can represent something hidden that hasn't come to light yet, like a secret. But what I'm seeing here for the most part is that because of this woman, and she's like deep in the ocean, and these two wolves howling at different areas across the land, I'm definitely seeing that it's possible that you might purchase a home overseas or in another country, or just have to travel across your continent or to another continent to purchase your home. This can also be a signal that your home, especially with like right here with the lily pads and the lake right here, there could be the fact that you're purchasing a home next to a lake. We also see that with the moon because this is a lake and this is kind of like a swampish lake right here. So there's that aspect, but I'm definitely sensing that like you could be traveling overseas to purchase your future home. With the Six of Cups, what I'm seeing here is this past transgression to the future right here with this puppy, and then he becomes an old man with the dog, is that you're really going to be able to set down roots here. And like, just like with the Ten of Cups where you can have a family here, what I'm seeing also is that you probably will have a pet at your future home. Like you'll probably have a dog of some kind. You will probably have either some kind of pet. It could even be a bird, like the birds we see here. But I'm definitely sensing like dog or cat or something more domesticated. Yeah, you're definitely going to have kind of like pets in the future home, which is kind of lovely. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, let's get into your career. So it's going to be a short reading. Let's get into the money aspect, the practical aspect of purchasing this home. So we already see that there are some people right here that are kind of nagging at you and like telling you kind of like what home you need to buy or where you need to live and that kind of thing. But what we see is like you triumph over that. And once you fill yourself with your own inner light, your inner white light, this can be like, you can do this through meditation and stuff. Just you kind of like want to purify your vessel, so to speak. So then your ideas and your emotions and what you want can kind of come out of you and flow out of you. And then this blindfold comes off and other people can see what you truly want. It's kind of like learning to share, but sharing from a place of like pure understanding of what your future home is going to be, you know? Okay, let me get back to these cards. Make sure the camera's still on. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, okay, let's see. I want to pull one a little bit deeper. Okay, let's see what we have. Goals, of course, yeah. So what we have here is that basically like these are your goals. Like this home is like your goals. And so let's read what the card has to say. Don't let the world lead you. Take the steering wheel and take control of your life. What was I saying? So yeah, you have all these other people that are kind of like trying to like let you know on where you need to go, where you need to live, what you need to do, but it's time to take the steering wheel and get those, fill yourself with that light and get going. It says this would be a good time to write down your goals and aspirations. Oh, I didn't even think about it. That's a great idea. Write down what you want, like journal about it, right? Like the aspects of your home that you want, all those kinds of things. That's a great way to manifest too, is to write stuff down. Focus on creating and managing a budget. Okay, that's what we see here too, is that in order to purchase this home, you're gonna have to be a little savvy with your finances, right? To get this dream home, I'm not seeing so much that it's gonna be that difficult to do. That could be what the moon card is representing, that secret, is that maybe there's like, it might be more expensive than you intended to purchase your house. Or your new home that you're going to live in. But what we see here is it's going to be a very happy home. You have like pets, the typical beautiful family life. Like it's just really, really lovely what we see here. Yeah, let's get one crystal wisdom card. And to be honest, I don't even know why I'm pulling these crystal wisdom cards. I just wanted to give you kind of like a little extra thing to go from. And we have ametrine. I am fully aligned with my intuition. I trust this powerful wisdom to guide me. Yeah, so we have ametrine here. And what I'm getting with ametrine is just like, this is that white light thing, right? Like you have to fill yourself and fill your intuition and make yourself kind of like like meditation could help. And get in tune with that intuition and kind of like know that's going to be the helpful key that's going to guide you to getting this beautiful home, right? And it is a beautiful home. I'm definitely seeing that it's such a beautiful family, and you know, it's just amazing, like the home that you have, like looking forward to in the future. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, and it could be by a lake. If you now, this is the thing, your home with this pile, it's like you already know what you want, right? It's already, you know what your dream home is, and you're kind of just wanting that confirmation of like, well, am I going to live there? And yes, you are going to live there. You know, this is like confirmation that you will live there, right? It might take a little bit of budgeting, and you might have to get more in tune with your intuition in order to get that, block out these kind of like voices that are kind of trying to lead you in different directions, right? Because the stronger you are with your sense of self, and the stronger you are with what you want and what you're looking forward to, like we see with the goals card, don't let the world lead you, take the steering wheel and take control of your life, the more likely you are to achieve getting this beautiful home. So I really enjoyed reading for you guys. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. There's also personal readings. I have linked to my site with personal readings. That's in the description box below. With that said, I love reading for you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Moving on to group 2. Hello, group 2, if you picked the rose quartz. So let's get into your reading. Doing a little shuffling on camera today, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. You can always leave comments if you like the shuffle. Oh, okay. You can always leave comments if you like shuffling on camera, or if you don't like shuffling on camera. I always look at the comments and read those. Make sure all this stuff is in the camera. Okay, I'm not reading reversals today, just to be clear. Wow, a lot of movement. Okay, so if you pick the rose quartz, here's what I'm kind of seeing for your home life. I'm definitely, the first thing that's coming out to me like strongly is with the Chariot card right over here. We have the aspect that you could be in a traveling home, or you could be in a mobile home, or a home that can move different locations. This can also represent moving a lot of different times in your life, like kind of having a whole bunch of different homes throughout your life. We also see that here with the Knight of Swords, with this guy in the motorcycle and stuff, and he's kind of like sprinting to the motorcycle, is that you're kind of like in the finishing line of like getting your future career, future home, and future lifestyle that you want. We definitely see that even though you might be moving around a lot, or there might be a lot of motion, this can also represent going on a long journey to find your home. But for the most part, I'm just seeing it as you moving around a lot and like living in a lot of different places throughout your life. You might be the type that kind of like lives somewhere for 5 years, moves somewhere for another 5 years, lives somewhere for another 5 years. So I definitely see a lot of movement and different homes that you're going to be living in. What we see here with the Emperor card right here is that there's this whole aspect that no matter where you go, you will be stable, you will be secure. We also see that amplified here with the 4. We have 2 4s here, and the moon's in the middle, but I'll get to that in a second. The 2 4s just represent stability. They represent like a solid structure. Like if you have 4 pillars, that's kind of like the groundwork to build a home, right? So what we're seeing here is that even though, yeah, you're going to be moving around a lot, you're going to have a lot of different homes in your lifetime, there's always going to feel like you're always going to feel stable. You're always going to feel secure. So if you're concerned or worried about like not being able to set up like deep roots, you are. The Emperor is all about roots and structure. So you are setting up that structure. It's just in different ways. So maybe you have a routine that you follow through with at every home that you live in, right? Like maybe you decorate the home the same way. So every home that you live in, you have the same decorations that you take with you to that new home, right? And it always is going to feel like home. We definitely see that like amplified here with the Four of Wands card, right? We also see that there might be an aspect of this home life, like you might have a lot of parties in this home, you might have a lot of dinner guests over, friends over, and especially with you going all over the world, not all over the world, you might be all over the world, but I definitely see you in a lot of different homes. And because of those different homes, you're inviting people over, kind of like having them over for tea or a dinner party, or, you know, maybe just to, you know, shoot the, just hang out, you know? So yeah, and the Moon card upright, what I'm seeing here with this river going into the ocean is it's like there probably is going to be one final home destination that you're going to have, and you're probably going to live in the final destination of the home life, like for the, you know, kind of like the longest period of time. We'll see if we can pull more cards for that home life. Yeah, let me see if I can get one more card for the final home. But what we're seeing here is there's some stuff that's unseen. There might be a reason why you have to move around a lot. There might be... Okay, so all we're getting is that your final home is going to be very alluring. Like you're going to be so entranced with your final home that you get to, that's why you're not going to move anymore. But it's going to take a couple moves to get there. Yeah, so definitely what I'm seeing here with the moon too is that there's not, like, nothing is yet to be revealed about where the next house is going to be. Like, it's kind of like saying, like, yeah, you just want to experience the moment, right? Enjoy the moment, the house that you're living in right now, because in the future, there's going to be more houses. I definitely see with this Six of Pentacles card that other people are going to be helping you to achieve these homes. Like you might find that suddenly when you're trying to like buy rent or a lease or something, someone like helps you out with rent, like a family member helps you out with rent. Or on the flip side, someone gives you a discount or someone points you in the right direction. Like, oh, there's these homes opening up in this area and they're selling them really cheap right now. Something along those lines. And definitely with the Knight of Swords, it's like there's this aspect of kind of like sorry, my fridge makes noises and it distracts me. There's this aspect of traveling to your home, and because the Chariot and the Knight of Swords are moving so quickly, I definitely see that sometimes there might be a rush. Like sometimes there might be a rush and like you might have to leave a home pretty quickly and find a new home like even quicker, you know, so there's that kind of rush in that department. But when you set up the home and just the whole process of getting from home to home, you're always going to feel stable. You're always going to feel secure. It's going to be a very lovely, secure environment. So even if you're deciding to have children or you want to have pets, because you're like, say, for example, like with my example of decorating the home the same way, there's going to be some consistent stability throughout all the homes that you purchase. So, and because of that consistent stability, your children and the animals in your life are all going to feel comfortable and at home, and they're not going to feel like it's a new home or a different place, you know, because there's always that security. Like it could be just the fact that you provide the security. The Emperor is also also can represent a father figure. So you could be either a parent or a single parent. And the Knight of Swords could represent like a younger person. So I'm definitely seeing that if you have kids, there's this whole aspect where you are going to be you're going to be so secure in your relationship with your family that this moving around is not going to be that detrimental to them. I know there's a lot of situations where like kids moving or parents moving children around a lot, like it can be a bad thing. But what I'm seeing here is it's not a bad thing. These 2 4s came out for a reason. You will have that security. All right, now let's get into the career card of the, not career cards. Well, these are career cards, but they're money cards too, of what you kind of need to focus on to help you get this home. Oh my gosh, that goes exactly with the Six of Pentacles, windfall. Okay, so you're gonna come into a lot of money. And it's funny that it's under the Moon card because it looks like the money comes maybe in later life. Let me read you what this card says. So, you're about to receive a windfall of money or pay raise. Money is currently in a positive cycle. This is a great time to treat yourself or make that big purchase. So we're definitely saying that you possibly, with all the money and stuff like that, you might enjoy living a nomad life. This could also, I know I mentioned moving to different homes and locations, but this could also represent like getting an RV and just with that RV, like traveling the world and going to different locations and going on different vacations, right? And you just live out of one RV and that's why you travel, you know? But, there's definitely going to be a large amount of money coming into your life before you purchase your home or when you're purchasing your home. And this money is just going to come out of nowhere. Like it's going to be quite fantastic, actually. You're gonna just with this Six of Pentacles, what I'm seeing is those gifts that people are giving you, like those rewards and stuff. It's gonna feel like just money kind of falling into your lap. Okay, no, that's extreme. Like that, like never happens to people, but it's gonna feel like that. It's gonna feel like you're gonna just get this great deal, and you're gonna move house, and it's gonna, you're gonna get this great new house, or you're gonna travel your RV and get to this great new location. You're just gonna have a lot of spending cash and money to live your life. So you're going to be living a very comfortable lifestyle. In no way does this imply that you're not going to be living a comfortable lifestyle, right? So let's get one last crystal affirmation card to see what, let's see if there's anything else that needs to come through. There we go. Oh, and you got chrysoprase, so I'll let you look at that green color of the crystal and let's read it. I open up and allow myself to be nurtured. Interesting. So I'm definitely seeing here with opening up and allowing yourself to be nurtured, I'm going along with the windfall and the Six of Pentacles card, right? There might be an aspect where in life, people want to take care of you. You might have that kind of personality where people kind of want to nurture you and help you and help you succeed, help you grow. It's almost as if you are kind of like a child of the universe, right? And so all you have to do is open yourself up to this nurturing, right? These people want to help you, right? These people in your life want to help you. And it looks as if there possibly could be some resistance on receiving help or financial help from others. But if you do, you will have that windfall of money. The people want, how do I put this? People want to help you, and it's almost like a nurturing type of help. It says, I open up myself and allow to be nurtured. That just means that there could be a situation where you feel very independent and you don't want to take on that nurturing, but gifts from the universe come in many shapes and sizes, right? And some people are lucky enough to work very, very hard and achieve a lot of money and achieve a lot of success based on purely on their hard work, right? And others of us are kind of like lucky. So, and it's different for different people, but you're one of those people that's just lucky, right? And yeah, you're moving around a lot, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. You're definitely going to be secure and stable in those endeavors, So letting yourself be nurtured, letting yourself accept gifts from the universe. That's really what this is let the universe nurture you, right? Don't think of it as people helping you. Think of it as gifts from the universe for like, yes, you're doing a good job. You're doing great. Like, here's the next step in the process, the plan, the journey, right? So I really enjoyed reading for you guys. If you like the reading, you can like or read below. You can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick cards like this pretty frequently. With that said, I also have personal readings in the description box below if you would like a personal reading. The link is below. With that said, I really enjoyed reading for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video, moving on to group 3. Hello, group 3. This is if you picked the yellow Apatite. So let's see where you are going to live in the future. Wow. These cards came out for the last group. I'm going to take this top one. It's the first one I saw. And let's get you some Light Seers cards. Is that 3? That's just 2. I want this one. I'm like staring at this like card and I just want it. Perfect. So this is so funny. This is the third reading and the moon has popped up. The moon card has popped up in every single reading. And what I'm kind of just taking from this is that there's almost like hidden information that hasn't come to light, at least with every single pile, that people don't know about, like some kind of secret that they are not really sure of that's going to come to light, that's going to illuminate more of this future home path ahead. So what I'm seeing first with the Emperor, we're just going to go ahead and say it. They're going to have a very stable and secure home base, right? It's going to be very comfortable, very relaxed. It's going to feel like a structured environment. That's the best way to put it. Now, with some other cards we have here, let's get into different things. So the first thing I'm seeing with the Ace of Swords, with this woman and the staircase spiraling and the light coming out and all these like diagrams coming out from her head, I'm definitely seeing that with your home, you actually might, sorry, my voice is cracking. Yeah, anyway, whoa, that was weird. Okay, I think I'm over the laughing fit. Anyway, maybe my voice is dying, too much talking. Anyway, so you might actually be designing your own home. That's going to be the really cool thing about this, is you might actually be the architect of your own home, or you might have a situation where you work with an architect to build your dream home. So that what we're seeing is like, that's going to be really fun. That'll be really cool. You get to actually be involved in the creative process of creating your home and like designing and building and making your own home, which can be really cool. We see that reflected here with this bird, kind of like this nesting thing with the bird and this woman kind of with all these pentacles dropping down and all the plants and stuff. We're definitely seeing that there's going to be a lot of greenery around where you live. Like you might live in a forest, or you might live where there's a giant garden by you. You might live around a lot of plants, a lot of lush green plants and stuff. With the moon card here, this also can indicate that you live either by a river or by the ocean. Those are possibilities. But what I'm seeing really strongly is that lush green environment, right? We also see that here with this Three of Cups, where, you know, they have like the pumpkins and the fruits in the background and the big wreath with the grapes. You're definitely going to live in a very fertile area, right? So there's going to be a lot of growth in this area. There's going to be a lot of nature. There's going to be a lot of like cool stuff like that. You're definitely going to be designing your own house. And what we also see here with the Seven of Wands is, I want to bring your attention to the Seven of Wands. You might have some outside factors or influences that you're concerned about. Maybe like with the safety and security, we already know you're in a safe, secure home base. But what we're seeing here is that you will also be spiritually protected. And I think for some of you, maybe a lot of you, I don't know, there's going to be this aspect of spiritual protection. So what we're seeing here is your house is going to be like a spiritual safe haven. So for example, just by the pure fact that you're designing your own house, by the pure fact that you're helping with those plans and those processes, what we see with the Seven of Wands is that you are going to be protected from outside influences, right? We're seeing that you're also on a different level. So this might be a situation where your house is, maybe you build kind of like a big extravagant house amongst a lot of little smaller houses, or maybe you have like a small little house in like a little cottage in a little green area in like a big city. Whatever the case is, your house is going to stand out different from other houses. So, or your home's going to be different from other homes. It's going to seem a little off or different to some other people. It's definitely going to be a very unique home, which is like a beautiful thing, because what we see here is that it's going to bring you, because of you're designing your home in that unique way, it's going to bring you a lot of spiritual protection. You're putting a lot of yourself into your home. You're putting a lot of kind of like your ideas and your thoughts and your designs and what you want in your ideal home. So really it's cool, because for a creative person, like if you're an artist or you are any kind of creative person, you get to pick and design your own home, which is going to be the coolest thing ever. You might stand out a little bit from other neighbors and stuff, but for the most part, I'm definitely seeing like this is like a beautiful, like if you look at this woman in this orb, right? She's in this beautiful encased orb with all these beautiful colors, and you have all this dark brown around her. I don't know if she's like, I don't know why I'm reminded like of a tree, like she's inside of a tree trunk and she just has this beautiful oasis inside. So it's almost as if your home might look a little basic on the outside, but on the inside, it's this gorgeous, beautiful world of like, you know, tapestries and art and design. And it's just gonna seem very, very cool, especially to you. You're definitely gonna get your dream home. And you get to design it. So it's like that, like win-win, right? Yeah, the home's going to be very stable. That's basically what the Emperor is saying. What the Three of Cups is saying too is that you could have a party home. Like, and this could also be a situation, this is a more of a rare occurrence, but I would say that there's a possibility that you might move in with friends. You might live with a couple friends for a long period of time. Or you might like kind of travel with these specific people in your life, even if they're not living in the same home. These are friends that are going to be in your same neighborhood. These are people that you probably always grew up with, or these are people that you're growing up with now. And if you have not met these types of friends yet, you will meet them and you will have like this kind of close connection. You'll have a close-knit group. So wherever the three of you go, I'm saying three just because there's three here. It could be a different number or a different kind of number. As far as like the friends that you're traveling with. Wherever you go, your friends kind of go with you. Or wherever you live, you're always going to have that network of friends, right? And because it's a three, I'm definitely seeing, and because it's the Three of Cups in particular, I'm definitely seeing it as people outside the home, although you could be living with them in the home. Like you could have a few close friends that you move in with, right? I'm definitely seeing this aspect of like a sisterhood or a brotherhood. This can also represent like living at a fraternity for a little while for some of you, that maybe that in the near future you might live in a fraternity or sorority. But for the most part, I'm just seeing that you have these friends, they, you know, and maybe you go out to lunch with them, or like maybe you kind of like you're done chilling at your house, you go to downtown with, and you meet like your girlfriends and you go have like a cup of like a cappuccino at the cafe or something like that, you know? I'm definitely getting that kind of vibe, you know? And I'm definitely, with this greenery, I'm definitely seeing, I know I mentioned the small house in the city earlier, but I'm definitely seeing you living in more of like the countryside, more of kind of like the whole aspect of kind of like a small like city out in like kind of like nature, right? Where you just kind of like have your friends living in the town with you. Yeah, it seems super cute actually. So let's get a career card to read. Okay, let's see. This is just going to be for what helps you in your situation or what you need to know going into the situation about your future home. And we have recognition. Oh, this is so interesting with the reading. Your money is looking good and solid. Whatever you are working on now will win the respect of others. You could earn a leadership position or get the recognition you deserve. Wow, so some of you might actually... Wow, that's interesting. Because what we heard over here with the Seven of Wands is that you might stand out from the group a little bit, and I kind of knew that your house might seem odd or unusual to other people, but what we're seeing here with the recognition is that people are going to really admire your house. Like, it's not going to stand out in a negative way. It's going to stand out in the way that's like, yeah, it's weird or different, right? But people are going to really deeply respect where you live and your house. Like, you're going to have a lot of recognition, especially in the community too, with these friends and stuff. People are really going to look up to you wherever you live, right? People in that community are going to look up to you, admire you. With recognition, this is also a sign that you will have steady finances and you will be able to purchase this home with relative ease. And because your home is so unique, people look up to you. So this is going to be the kind of community where uniqueness is prized and appreciated. Your home is going to be valued and appreciated. You might find that if you ever... I see you living at this particular home for most of your life, but I feel like if you ever want to sell your home, this home is going to go for a lot more than you put into it, basically. Let's get one more card. Let's just get a crystal affirmation just to see if there's anything else coming through that needs to be said. I like these cards because normally they just, like, one just pops out. I might have to draw now because, you know, jinxing it and stuff, but... Okay, there we go. Look at how pretty these crystal cards are. I'm in love with them. Okay, aquamarine. So communication, I communicate with ease and grace. Okay, this is totally in line with the reading, right? So you're gonna be a big part of this community, right? In where you live. Like you're gonna be a big part of like maybe the city council, town meetings. You're gonna be really involved with the area where you live, right? And what we see is I communicate with ease and grace is you're just gonna have it's going to be really easy to communicate with neighbors. Say you want to throw a party, right? And you just have to talk to your neighbors and they'll be like, yeah, sure, throw the party, whatever. Because you'll be able to communicate with them what your goals, desires are, and they will be able to understand them. That communication aspect is really key here. You know, and it's so interesting because you would think that having such a unique position in the community with such a unique house that, you know, you kind of designed yourself would make it kind of more at odds with the community. You hear about that in home communities all the time where someone builds kind of a house that's, you know, different in the community and people are like, oh, it's such an eyesore, that kind of thing. Not your house. It's going to be unique and different, but really totally valued, which is really cool right here. Yeah, and just I'm definitely getting such strong community vibes with recognition and stuff like that. This Three of Cups gets a lot more significance after pulling these cards. You're definitely going to be really strongly involved in the community. Overall, it looks like a very, very happy home life. I'm very happy for you. Yeah, and if you like the reading, sorry, I'm going to end the reading there. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. I have a link in the description box below for personal readings if you want one of those. And with that said, I really enjoyed reading for you guys, and we're gonna move on to pile 4. Hello, pile 4. This is if you picked the Smokey Quartz. So let's get into your reading. Where will you live? Sorry, my voice did some funky thing in the last pile, and like, I'm still trying to recover. I don't know what's going on with my voice. It's like groggy, crackly, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Here. And today I will not be reading reversals. Okay, let's see, let's flip these over. Okay, so let's get into the reading. Sorry, there's some construction going on outside my house. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm just going to continue with the reading. I think my voice is louder than the construction, so that's good. So first of all, let's just start with the tower. It flipped out like right side up first, so let's go into that first. So the thing with this home that you're purchasing, there's like 2 options for this pile. Like you either could be before moving into your dream home or where you want to live, like where you're going to live in the future, you might have a previous disaster with your previous home. Like there might be a situation, this is not to freak you out because like this is going to be, it's going to end up in a good situation. I don't see anyone getting hurt or anything like that. But what I'm seeing is there could be some disaster like a fire or a flood that is kind of like that kind of made you have to leave the home that you're in right now. And this could have already happened. It could be that you already had a disaster that kind of hit your home and that you had to leave from, you know, maybe some of you have come from a situation with, I don't know, there were some fires in like California recently. And so maybe you came from a situation like that where your home got burnt down or your home got flooded or there was a hurricane or something like that. And basically what we're seeing here is like that you're going to be moving from that kind of type of mentality. Basically with the King of Swords, you're going to be moving to higher ground, right? And higher ground just means that like you're going to be moving to an area where disasters can't hit you that easily, right? And that's kind of the lesson that gets learned with this pile. There also might be another situation, right, where you do, because I definitely see you living really high altitude, like definitely in the mountains, kind of, or definitely even if it's high altitude in like around like in a city or anything like that, you're going to be living high above people. So you might have a great view or a great way of like looking over the city or looking over the hills or the mountains, right? You're going to be living really high on top of things. That's also an interesting thing what we have here with the lightning, right? Because it's almost this idea that, you know, if the thing is, if your house is for the first group, what I mentioned was that this house, you could be moving from an area where there was like a fire or a flood or something like that into a higher ground, into a higher house. For the others of you, this could be a situation where you are moving into a house where some like psychological disaster happened, right? So you might be moving into a house where something happened in that area or in that town or in that community where there was something bad happened, right? And you're moving into that location because something kind of devastating happened, right? The third option, there is a third option. For some of you, this could just be a situation or a house where you don't expect yourself to be living in, right? You might not expect yourself to be living in this particular area, or it might be a sudden change from what you might like maybe want one house, but you might get a sudden change into a house that you didn't really necessarily like want. You will want it. What we see here is that this is kind of like the home that you will like enjoy living in. But what we see also is that there's this aspect of like sudden change, right? Like something sudden happens that has you changing houses. But we see here with the King of Swords, you're gonna enjoy like a house or a place with high altitude, like having a great view. Like what we're seeing here is, so it's like not all bad, you know, like I'm saying like all these things about disaster and stuff, but really like you end up with this house with this amazing view, right? Like, you know, looking over whatever, like a beautiful like lake or a city or mountaintops, like you're just looking over this great, beautiful, you know, vista. Now, what we see here with the Two of Pentacles, the one thing I always notice about this card is her environment is very plain. I mean, she just has this outfit and she has like nothing in the background, right? There's like just a pink sky with a little bit of clouds. So what I'm seeing is that the interior of your home will be very, how do I put this? Sparse? I don't know if that's the right word. There won't be a lot of like decorations. It'll be very plain, very simple, elegant in like a sophisticated, simplistic way, right? Like you might have a very like minimalistic style to your house, like have very, how do I put this, with your furniture, like very, only the required things that are necessary for your house are what's going to be in your house. You're not going to have any extra little gadgets or knickknacks or anything like that. And what we see here is that in a way, it just kind of like with this woman and she has a bag in one hand and the other bag's kind of like invisible, or it's like a ghost bag, you know, her like purse is a ghost purse. What we're seeing here is that it's like, it keeps things really light and easy for you. So you're definitely not going to have the situation where you have a cluttered environment, right? You're going to be simplifying your life. Pretty like simple is going to be the key word here. It's like, you're going to be simplifying your life, with the house that you're going to live in. It's not going to be that cluttered in the home that you're going to live in. It's going to be a very elegant style, simple style. You're going to kind of like minimize the belongings that you have to not kind of really, it's not going to feel cluttered is basically the best way to put it. Now what we're seeing with these cards over here. So the Ace of Pentacles directly, I think, talks about an offer that you might receive a offer for this house or this purchase. It's not like you will be seeking it out. It's like someone will be offering it to you. Like maybe you go through a real estate agent and then the real estate agent like kind of comes to you and says like, okay, I have this offer or this house here, or this kind of thing here. And you go, oh, okay, interesting. So this directly relates to having an offer. What we're seeing here with the Strength card, this can relate to pets, having a pet of some kind. Mainly what I was seeing here initially, I'll just say what I was seeing here initially, is that you might have like a wild animal pet of some kind. What we have is like bats and owls and birds over here, which just represents how high up you are. But you might also have kind of some kind of elegant creature that is like your pet. Like you might have like a, I don't know, a Komodo dragon or, wait, is that even, can you have those as pets? I don't know. Anyway, so you might have some kind of like majestic pet, right? Or some kind of like majestic animals surrounding you. I definitely see you being in an area where there could be wild animals around you. Like it's, you know, especially if you're in the mountain, that could be like bears or mountain lions or something like that. Like you could be in an area where there's lots of like wild animals. I'm definitely seeing this whole aspect with this pile of like flirting with disaster, right? Like, throughout their home life, you kind of flirting with disaster. Things kind of seem a little bit more unstable than some of the other piles. But I'm also seeing with the Knight of Swords here, there's like this whole element of excitement or danger or kind of like just this risk factor that's really enticing for this pile. Like, yeah, you know, like living on the edge might be cool. So even if you're in the King of Swords energy and you're living in this high altitude place, you might be the type of person who kind of like enjoys being in like high places or is not afraid of heights. Or, and even with that metaphor, you could be the type of person who likes to conquer your fears. Like, or the type of person who enjoys risks and enjoys risky things. So you might even be with the King of Swords here. You might enjoy a situation where you can go on like lots of adventures. I'm definitely getting vibes. I visited this town in New Zealand called Queenstown, and they have a lot of like adventure type things, you know, like boat rides, or you could ski down glaciers and stuff like that. So I'm definitely seeing you living in kind of like an adventurous place is the best way to put it. And that's definitely coming through with the Knight of Swords here. So let's get into the rest of your reading. Let's figure out what the money issue for this house is going to be that you're going to have. Oh, and what we also see here with the Strength card, real quick before I forget, the Strength card just shows that you will have the inner strength to overcome these obstacles. So if you're worried, if you're nervous about like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna handle it if my house sets on fire, there's a flood or something like that, and I have to move, right? What we see here, whatever the case, you have the courage and the strength to handle these things. The universe would not send you stuff you cannot handle, right? So you have the courage here. And this Strength card, this inner strength that you develop and you get, is going to be built into the new home, right? You're going to feel strong in your new home. You're going to feel like, how do I put this? Not secure is not the right word. You're going to feel emboldened, right? It might be the type of home where you fly off all the time and go and do like little risky things. So you might not even spend too much time at your house. We see that here where you don't have too many possessions here. You might kind of like live outside of your home is the best way to put it. Okay, so let's get this career card. I say career card, but it's really like a finances card. This is the ish thing. Oh, unrealistic. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, your expectations in the future are unrealistic and need revision. Perhaps your vision is big and may require a plan and need more careful thought. You could be setting yourself up for failure if you don't set realistic financial goals. Okay, so what we're seeing here with the Tower, this gives new meaning to the Tower, especially with unrealistic financial goals. This is just warning you that this initial home that you purchase, or this initial idea that you have of like your home, it's gonna come crumbling down, right? It's not realistic to what you really want or what you need in your life. We've been going over the whole, like, you want to be somewhere where there's like, you know, you're high up above people, you know, that courage, that risk-taking attitude, you know, but I'm definitely saying that you might have some kind of idea of your home away from that image that's kind of a little more unrealistic, a little more kind of like this whole idea of, it's this whole idea of like not taking into consideration like your own needs and what your own values and desires are for your home. It seems like this unrealistic vision of where you want to live. Right here was this, perhaps your vision is big and may require a plan and need more careful thought. What we're seeing is after this disaster, when this disaster hits, if it does hit, what I'm seeing here, this unrealistic card, it's kind of a blessing in disguise for this reading. It's basically saying like, it's supposed to be a wake-up call, basically. It's basically saying you can avoid this, right? You can avoid this disaster. This is just because the idea of the home that you have right now when you came to this video, or what you wanted in a home, is unrealistic, or is kind of like just misguided in a way. Like there just needs to be more careful planning and thought into where you want to live, or what type of place you want to live in, basically. All right, so let's see, one crystal message. Let's see if this ties in this with let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pull for this pile. Apatite. Let's see, let me let you look at that crystal right there. It's that crystal. Apatite. I have the divine wisdom of the universe within me, and I openly share it with the world. Okay, so this is kind of like the whole idea of like getting in touch with your divine self, getting in touch with your divine nature in order to make these goals realistic. So, and openly sharing it with the world, and I'm also seeing this with this is more of like a positive omen for like the future home, kind of like the risk-taking home where you're kind of like going on these adventures and stuff. I definitely see that getting in touch with the divine wisdom of the universe within me and openly share it with the world is that you're going to share your adventurous spirit with others. So part of your home life and kind of like the future that you have, this is kind of away from your home, exactly your physical home, but it's more like the home you're going to carry with you into the future, is you're going to share those adventures with others, right? Wherever you live, if you live on like anywhere with that view, right? That's the main thing that's coming through with your future house, like physical things, that you're going to have a view. Is that you're going to like enjoy these adventures, or these gonna kind of like, or kind of like this with whatever wild animal you have like in your possession that you live with. You're going to share these fantastic things with the world, your stories with the world. You're going to be more of kind of like with this Knight of Swords energy, I'm definitely seeing more of like a conquering, adventuring, exploring type of person. The home is not really so important, and that might actually be why your visions of your actual home are more unrealistic, because it's like your actual nature does not want to be tied down. You're an adventurer at heart, and so when you try to like tie yourself down to a home, it's almost like the universe knows that like you're unhappy. Like you're unhappy with what you decided upon, and that's what brings in this disaster, right? So it's just kind of like trying to get you into a wake-up call, like get in touch with your divine wisdom, get in touch with what you truly want, what you truly feel you need as a pile. And if you're not this kind of adventurous, free spirit, wild child, like, have a pet lion / like, like hiking Mount Everest type of person, like you probably picked the wrong pile. This is probably not your pile. But yeah, it's all about like the fact that like your future home is not going to be that important for this pile, right? But it's also important in the sense that you don't want to place too much emphasis with these unrealistic expectations of what your home is going to be, right? What type of life you're going to live, because you do have this kind of creatively explorative nature, this kind of risk-taking nature. So just keep that in mind with this pile. That's all I want to say for the very end of the reading. Yeah, I hope this reading was helpful. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. With that said, we are going to end the readings there. I really enjoyed reading for you guys. This pile looks interesting. You just need to rework your view of what you think a home life should be for you, right? Because you have a particular nature that would be so much happier in a different situation than what you're currently thinking about. That's the best way to put it. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, sayonara.